Alright guys, welcome back. In our last lecture, we discussed how to initiate a project where you define and pitch your idea to get approval. But once you get the official go-ahead, it's time to start planning for your project for reals. So let's get right to that in this lecture. Now, I'm just going to say it, the planning phase of the project is arguably the most important. Think about any project you've worked on. Maybe it was at work and you had to convert data from an old Excel sheet into a database, or at home to make a cake. Who knows? In any case, think about how difficult it would be to complete your project without an actual plan, or the steps you need to get it done. It's like trying to bake that proverbial cake without a recipe. Not really a great idea. So the planning phase of a project is all about setting clear goals, defining a work plan, including the steps you'll need to take, assembling the team of people you'll need, and working out a schedule to complete the work. In construction or app development, the planning phase might also be known as the design phase because, well, you'll probably be whipping up sketches, blueprints, other visual representations of the final product. Ultimately, your goal here is to prepare everything you need to know and do about this project before you actually start making anything. So first off, you need to set your goals. The purpose of your project might be to, let's say, improve customer service, but your goals must relate to things you can measure that define actual success, like better customer service survey results or fewer support requests total. With measurable goals, you know what you need to do to successfully complete the project. A helpful guideline for setting goals is the SMART method. It's an acronym, and it goes something like this. Make your goals specific, that's the S, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. Now, in that acronym, specific, the S, means answering the basic questions, who, what, where, when, and why. Then the M means measurable, that means your goal should be something you can measure using actual numbers so you can actually determine success. Then the A is attainable, which means setting goals you can actually achieve and understanding how you will achieve them. Then R is relevant, which means the goal should be something that's relevant to the overall purpose and the resources you're prepared to use. Then T is timely, which means your goal is something you plan on achieving within a certain time frame, meaning you have a due date. So if we want to, let's say, improve customer service, let's create a SMART goal around that. So we might say by the end of 6 months, we want to improve customer satisfaction survey results from 85% happy to 95% happy. Now, those are specific and measurable numbers that are attainable and relevant. And we've set a time limit for ourselves. So that's a good example of a SMART goal. Another way clear goals help is to define deliverables and a project scope. Perhaps there's a list of 5 features your users want added to your app. So your goal could be to, let's say, add those 5 features to the app by the end of the calendar year. Now this goal helps define a scope so that if another feature gets suggested, you could say, not yet, these 5 features come first. Anything outside of your scope should be weighted on because any efforts spent on other things take away from your ability to accomplish your primary goals. Now, once you've got goals and a scope, you can start making a detailed work plan. Let's say that's the recipe for the cake, if you will. This is where you break down the entire project into workable, easy to divide chunks so that they can be handed off to the right people. They'll know what to do at each point in the process and which resources and materials they'll need. If you can divide up teams, multiple tasks could be done separately and at the same time. Use a tool like a Gantt chart, G-A-N-T-T, to list each task visually and show how long everything takes and when it would be worked on and completed. These plans will also help you finalize your team list so you know who will work on the project and what their tasks and responsibilities are. It helps you take all of these details, the goals, work plan, scope, and team, and formalize them within documents which you'll share with your team. You can also use them to review with clients and get approval. Here's some advice. Take your time with this phase. Don't rush into producing anything until you know exactly how work will progress. Don't, quote unquote, figure it out as you go or wing it. Be thoughtful about how each step will be completed, and you'll be able to anticipate ways to save time and resources before you even begin. Okay, so patience will serve you well, but there are other skills and talents a successful project manager needs to have. Let's talk about those in the next lecture. See you then.